to ask Ms. Kristen Brotman to come on real quick.
Thank you, Nick. I am excited to be on here today, and I'll tell you, I have exciting news since I saw everybody when I was on here on Monday. So this week, we have imported over 4,900 A-leads. So our A-lead has already doubled. I know you guys have been talking and hearing from Barry, and he said, hey, we turned on over 1,300 counties a few weeks ago. The leads are here, and they're finally coming in from all of those counties that we turned on. So today is a great day to check the inventory after 1 o'clock. A lot of standing lead orders have already been fulfilled. So those overflow leads are going to be available for instant purchase after 1 o'clock today. So look at the inventory, our new life leads. They went into the system this morning. They're in there right now, so they will be assigned out to standing lead orders this morning. And then after 1 o'clock, they will be available for instant purchase. All of these new leads went into the inventory as A leads, and they're 4,250. And again, guys, these are life leads. So we mail to this home. It's a direct mailer. We have a great source who has an algorithm that is really, I don't think we've ever had a data source that has an algorithm like they do. It is proven that when someone replies back, they are a qualified individual that wants coverage. They want you to call them. So we're really excited to have this life lead. You will notice that some of the leads, it's just going to be a regular life lead. And Nick and JB will talk today exactly how to go about with that appointment and with even with how to schedule with the text messaging. Then the other life lead is going to say that they either have a mortgage or they do not have a mortgage. So it is the exact same lead. It's just the bottom of what we call a combo says, hey, do you have a mortgage? Yes or no. That's the only difference. So we're really excited. What we've already been seeing is a lot of people with the response rate. The one that has the mortgage at the bottom is getting the higher response rate, which is great. So we will keep everyone posted on response rates on what comes in. We received 480 this week of those leads, and we have already raised it up to 500. So it was 250 before leads even came in. Barry already upped it up to 500, and then he's already promised them in 90 days 1,000. And again, like I said on the call Monday, we can do 1,000 starting next week if you guys want them. So the faster we move these leads, we get more orders in, the more that they can start mailing for us. A1 leads, those got into the inventory yesterday. And I think I saw on the community group, we're already having success stories from those A1 leads. $15. By Monday, you will be able to create a standing lead order. Everything kind of got delayed. India has a holiday, so things kind of got pushed back. So Monday, the standing lead order will be available for A1. And when you create a standing lead order, you will be able to select all counties starting on Monday. So for right now, if you put an order in, you're going to have to keep clicking those different counties, but on Monday, we'll have that feature for you. If you need any help to create that standing lead order, please go into the training center. It's under the leads for right now, and I think actually it's going to be posted under the virtual later, but it's just leads and dials. And there is a video at the bottom, and it says everything about Opt. It's creating a standing lead order, and you will be able to follow that video really to learn about the Equus lead system, and it's going to give you every detail to put in that lead order. If you need any help, feel free to email the lead department or chat in with us. We're getting a lot of phone calls right now. So if we have not returned your call, know that we will reach back out to you, but email right now is going to be the best way to reach us. So that's it for me. I again encourage everyone to look at the inventory after 1 o'clock today. So Nick, I'll toss it over to you.
Kristen, thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. We've ran a lead department before in our business over the years. And guys, what the Equus lead department does for us on the back end, it allows you to focus on what matters, is what Barry, today matters. Look at Kristen's, canvas in the back. We get to focus on what truly matters. Trust that the lead department has your best interest at heart. You know, that's what Barry's agenda has been for this company, for the agent's company, is to have a bona fide lead program. And I'll be honest with you, Kristen, I've never seen anything like it before in my 18 years with the lead department. Now with this new life lead, it's just another opportunity for you to win and win at a high level. So leads will never be an issue here at Equus, because our leadership and our resources that we have on the back end are doing everything they can for all of us to be successful. So Kristen, thank you. You know, recap, 1 o'clock today. Everything's going to be available at 1 o'clock today. So if you're looking for leads, jump on at 1 o'clock. The life leads are being imported. Okay. The mortgage or not mortgage combo leads, they're going to be up. Standing lead orders, those details are there. Please don't call into the home office. Make sure you email if you have any questions. You'll get a quicker response rate. So, Kristen, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to jump on this morning.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, guys, what we're going to do this morning. So on these life leads, it's going to have whether or not the client has a mortgage or not. Okay. So, you know, it'll have mortgage or not. So when I was running these leads, I was able to run the lead. Let me bring my brother on real quick. I was able to run the lead, and that was my first question when I ran the lead was, do you have a mortgage? So I did my same presentation that we talk about every day on this call. It's the same presentation every day. When getting them on video, asking them, I'm going to tell them I'm going to gather just a little bit of information. I just did a little twist. What I would say is, you know, hey, Jonathan, do you and your wife, do y'all have a mortgage? And if they did have a mortgage, I'm just going straight into my mortgage protection sale. So nothing is going to change when running this lead if they have a mortgage. All right. The only thing that's going to change is if they're renting or they do not have a mortgage. So all we're going to do is flip the script a little bit. Okay. And guys, I hope this is really going to encourage you, because this is going to be even more simple, right? John Kite, I was reading this morning. It says, we develop to our potential when there's structure. We develop to our potential when there's structure. And what this flip chart is taking structure and taking it to a whole new level. All you're going to have to do is read the script on this. You're just going to have to follow the process. You're going to be this flip chart that me and JB have had over the last 6-7 years was developed by 10 of the top final expense life producers in the country. Okay, so we all got in the room. Egos really big, right? John Kite, everybody was really big. Everybody thought their way was the best. And everybody came together and got on the same page of what would work the best in the house. What would work best from the standpoint of overcoming the objections, creating the need. There's a why behind every word on this flip chart. This thing has been dissected over and over and over again for the agent to have success. So before we get into that, we're going to go into every word, every detail of the flip chart sales presentation. By the way, it's going to be on the back end of the website. It's probably live now. I think Elena already has it live. So it's going to be on the back end of the website. But JB, kind of talk a little bit about the why behind the flip chart and what it did to our business once we implemented it.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I appreciate Kristen taking the time, because I know how stressful leads can be in a business, because that was the weight on my shoulders throughout the last several years for us, making sure we had enough leads. So you got to keep up with the leads as the company grows. And what I'm excited about is it's just an opportunity to call somebody. So you guys get on here every day. You're learning a skill set. You're learning how to help clients. You're solving a problem and you're giving them a solution to the problem that they have. So don't put an emphasis on what a lead card says. Oh my goodness, they said a mortgage. Oh, they don't have a mortgage. Do not put that emphasis. Don't put your livelihood in what a piece of paper says. Put your livelihood on your skill set, because you're the professional. You're the one that has the solution to the problem that the client has. So this flip chart is going to give you a word track to run on. When we developed this, we had a lot of egos. We had a lot of top producers saying, I don't need a flip chart. I can sell. I can take my yellow piece of paper in, I can give them 3 options, and I can strong arm them. I can sell. That might work for the average. That might work for your top producers, okay? But for you coming in fresh, and when I say you coming in fresh, act like you're green in the business. Whether you wrote 30,000 last month or you wrote 3,000. Act like you're green with this. Have an open mind, because you guys ever watch American Idol or The Voice or something, and they go up and they sing a song and it's like, man, you made that song your own. This is the song. We want you to make it your own. Put your personality to it. Don't be Connor Jones. Don't be Nick. Be you. People are attracted to you being genuine. So here's the song to sing. We're going to teach you basically the why behind every word. There's some words in here that are bold print where you put some emphasis on it. And we implemented this years ago. And I tell you what, our good producers become great. Our great producers become elite. Our average producers, all of a sudden, we looked up and were like, that dude, all of a sudden, it must have clicked with him. No, what it was he was overcoming the objections in his presentation. Okay? So this is trying to get all the objections out. We talk about that when we talk about the mortgage protection sale, about the needs analysis. You're trying to overcome every objection to where you get to the end. It just comes down to a budget issue. That's what this flip chart is designed to do. So, Nick, I'm ready to roll. If you're ready to roll, I think Hunter's going to bring it up on the screen with us.
Yeah,
Let's dive into it.
So Hunter, can you pull up? There we go. So this is the life lead flip chart. I personally, when I've been running these leads, I have not pulled it up on the screen when I read it to the client. If you have that capability and you're savvy, hey, I'd encourage you to do it. You can do that. They can read along. They can engage. It allows the client to engage more in your presentation. But if you don't want to do that, but I did not do that when I'm running these leads. I just have it to my side. So I'm just kind of going through the flip chart. So again, when you nothing changes with our process, whether you're texting or dialing the appointment, when you make the phone call to get them on video, nothing changes. Everything stays the same. Okay. The only thing when you do a little bit of rapport building, you do a little bit of your core, you do your WF, WF, as Bill Lampy teaches, whatever you're choosing to do, to just talk a little bit. All right. When you begin the presentation, you're going to take control of the presentation. When you ask that some question, John and Kim, now, before we get going, do you guys have a mortgage? If they do not have a mortgage, this is when you go into this. Okay, well, good. All right, well let me go into my presentation real quick. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to gather just a little bit more information. My job is to get you approved. Okay, that's all my job is to do, is get you approved. All right, then I'm going to show you the options that are available to you for this life insurance. Okay, when I show you the options, it's got to make financial sense, right? Yeah, they agree this got to make financial sense. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through my little presentation that my company asked me to go through with you to see if we can get you approved. And then I start reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the first page, Hunter. All right, now keep in mind, all right, what you're doing is as JB said, you're making this your own. This is just giving you a track to run on. All right, so what I'm going to do is, John, hey, look, this is what I want to let you know why we're meeting today and what makes me different than any other company out there. All right, we do believe in good old-fashioned personal service. Before, and here's where I'm ad-libbing. Okay, here's where I'm ad-libbing. Before, we would typically set an appointment, and I'd be sitting in your living room right now. But 2 years ago, this past weekend, COVID changed all that. So when we started doing everything this way, the companies that we represent, they would rather have our business done this way because it's just more efficient. We can see so many more people and we can get the same thing accomplished as if I was sitting in your living room. And they'll just nod their head, they'll let, yeah. So I read that and I used my own flow to it, right? So most people in your situation, John, they purchase a final expense plan through the mail. They even get it over the internet or they buy it through the TV. Okay, you see Alex Trebek with Jeopardy, right? He offers insurance through the TV, all right? Unfortunately, though, John, these plans may be different from their wishes, okay? JB, hit on why those 3 lines, why we start the conversation out on those 3 lines.
Well, first of all, what you're doing is you're taking the objection of, why didn't you just mail me the information? Okay, this is why I'm meeting with you. This is why we're having the conversation. You're taking that objection out. You're also taking out the objection of, oh, well, I saw such and such on TV, or I saw on the internet I could get, $10,000 for X amount of dollars, or I could get a unit for $725. So you're trying to take out all those objections right now. So what you're doing is you're kind of, oh, okay, he's here to educate me. He's not here to sell me. He's here to educate me on why we're actually meeting and we're having a conversation. And he didn't just send quotes. He didn't just mail information. So you're just kind of warming them up and taking the guard down for them. That's going to allow you to ask the tough questions down the road.
And what it's also doing, guys, if they did take out that Mutual Omaha or Colonial Penn or AARP through the mail, you also all of a sudden you're like JB said, you're letting that guard down, letting them know while we're meeting face to face, which is video face to face. This is not a telesale, guys. This is in-home presentation through the video. Okay. You're also letting them know, put some doubt in their mind at the beginning of the conversation that they've already got something, okay? So here's what we say, all right? We're creating even more doubt if they do have one of these policies. All right, John, unfortunately, most of these plans that you get, and I'll repeat it, through the mail, over the internet, or over the TV, a lot of them have 2 or 3 year waiting periods. What that means is, if you don't pass away in the first, if you pass away in the first 2 or 3 years of the policy, all it's going to do is give you your money back. It has reduced death benefits. Okay, some people only have accidental death coverage only. Most banks, most credit unions, they offer accidental death only. Okay, a lot of plans are where the premiums increase on you every 5 years. Okay, so every 5 years age bands, they increase on you, and then they typically cancel at age 80. Why do you think I'm saying that, guys? There's a company called AARP. It's one of the most prevalent you're going to see out in the field is people take out AARP through the mail, okay? And then also a chance of your premiums increasing if your health changes, all right? And then there are also plans out there that expire before you do. It's known as term insurance. We call it temporary insurance, which means temporary protection. Now, guys, I know we sell term insurance. We do that for a living, right? But what this is doing is if you're in the market where somebody that's over 60 years of age, a lot of times they'll have the USSSA, they'll have True Stage, they'll have AARP, they'll have a term product in place. And so you're casting some doubt on what they currently have. And also with the possibility of being declined, which will leave no protection for you or your loved ones. So JB, kind of recap on why this introductory is so critical.
Yes, again, what you're doing is you're kind of planting a seed of doubt of, well, I've already got that taken care of through the mail. I've already got this. Also, when it talks about the 2 to 3 year waiting period, they might say, well, it said I was covered from day one. Yes, ma'am, you're covered from day one, but it's limited benefits. Okay, so when you hear that, when they say, yes, I'm covered from day one, yes, ma'am, it's limited benefits, first 2 years, right? Then a lot of that stuff is accidental. I know a lot of times in the field, we talk about people, well, I got insurance with the bank. Yes, that's accidental. Some of these people, well, I've got $100,000 for $9 a month. Well, yes, ma'am, that's accidental, right? Also, the 5 year age bands, just so you know, AARP is the company that endorses New York Life. So the paper it's written on is the company's New York Life. 5 year age bands. You have a age band of 50. When they're 55, it goes up 60, 65, 70, 75. When they reach age 80, they don't have any more coverage. And it'll say something. Sometimes they play on words like the policy's good for the life of the policy. Yes, ma'am. Well, the life of the policy ends at age 80 because you can no longer renew it, right? So what we're doing here is we're overcoming the objection. Well, I could have just got it through the mail. I got AARP, I've got Globe, I've got this, I've got that. What we're doing is we're, number one, planting the seed of doubt, but we're also overcoming the objection at the end of the presentation of, wow, let me see what AARP is going to do. Because look, most of the people 50 to 85 that you help, they think that AARP is there to truly help them. And look, it's a great organization, but New York Life is the underwriting company, and that for them from a company standpoint, from a risk assessment, it's better that they give them a term policy where it goes up every 5 years. Okay. Now, here is some different nuances. There is a policy we'll call a GAC policy through New York Life. It's guaranteed acceptance coverage. That is whole life. All right. But 90% of the people that I run across that have AARP don't have that policy. Most of it is that insurance because it's cheaper than the GAC. Okay. So this sets you up basically is This is why I'm here. This is why instead of coming to your house or sending you something through the mail, we're different than the rest of the company.
You're
Right?
trying to separate yourself. You're trying to make yourself look better, and you're casting so much doubt. A lot of times, guys, when you read this page and you read it slowly and you use your own personality, you've already got a sale and you don't even realize it. Okay, so there's 456 people on this call. I hope you're engaged. I hope you're listening to this, okay? Because this is so powerful for you to be profitable in this business. Reading this very slowly, okay, using your own personality. Because you want to be a top producer, this is what the top producers use. All they're doing is reading it. So you won't have any excuses. Well, I'm not saying it this way. I'm not doing it this way. This is so powerful because all you're doing is reading. That's all you're doing is reading. So Hunter, go to the next slide. Okay, so John, here's why most people like you and Kim request our services. A lot of people just do not have any protection or a final expense plan in place. Some people just don't have anything. That's why they fill out the card like you did. Some people just don't have anything. Some people, John, have protection in place, but it's not necessarily the right type, or it might not be the right amount of coverage that they really need. A lot of people, John, have what I was talking about earlier. They have that temporary term coverage, and they want to own their policy. They don't want to rent their coverage. Some people, John, just want to review what they currently have. Because unfortunately, John, some plans expire before the insured passes. What that does, it leaves their loved ones behind to pay for their funeral expenses. No one wants to leave that burden on their kids, right? So some people, though, they do have the right protection plan in place for their final expenses, but they want to leave a little bit more behind. They want to leave a benefit behind to a special person like a child or grandchild or even a charity, okay? John and Kim, which of these options best applies to you? So you see what I'm doing? I'm hitting on the person that doesn't have any coverage. I'm hitting on the person that may have a coverage in place that I've got that doubt in their mind whether or not they have the right coverage, okay? Or I'm hitting on that person that feels like they have a sufficient enough amount of coverage behind, but they want some extra. So I'm hitting it at every angle. And then I'm asking at the end, what option best applies to you? And they'll tell you. That they will tell you, JB.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're doing also is you're getting engagement, and what you're really doing is you're reminding them they requested information, right? You just didn't call them up out of the blue and try to sell them a life insurance policy. They requested the information, right? So you're reminding them of, you filled this card out. Basically, in like a quick term, you fill this card out, what'd you have in mind,
Yes.
right? That's what you're getting. That's the point you're getting to. But understand, a lot of this stuff is very broad strokes that you're hitting. You're not getting into real specifics just yet, right? You're just hitting broad strokes. Like, hey, maybe you took out a policy years ago. You're 80 years of age, and $5,000 would cover the funeral. Now it won't cover the funeral. So all of these have different points. There's a reason. One of these reasons is why they requested information. Okay, so again, you requested me. I just didn't cold call you out of the blue. What did you have in mind when you requested information, in other words?
All right, Hunter, go to the next slide. So a lot of people just want to know, John, how do you even fund your final expenses? Okay. Again, we're talking to people, guys, that do not have a mortgage. Okay. So in the back of your mind, if they don't have a mortgage, more than likely they're looking for something to fund their final expenses. All right. Their final expenses may mean a whole lot more than just burial. Final expenses is all inclusive. Final expenses, that's a lot more than just your burial. Okay. So how do you fund your final expenses? You can go to the funeral home and pay it in full. John, you and Kim can do that. You can go up there and pay it in full. Okay. The second option, if you do want to go ahead and pre-plan your funeral, you can pay it over time. All right. Unfortunately, though, John, that creates a lot of finance charges on the remaining balance. They're going to charge interest if you don't pay it in full. And when you do pass away, if it's not paid off, there are going to be remaining balances. And these balances must be paid by your loved ones at the time of your passing. So in other words, if something happens to you or Kim before you pass away, you go to the funeral home, that balance has to be paid. It can be very costly, and it's a very emotional process, okay? Having a proper plan really is the only option, John. This coverage is for your loved ones that you're going to leave behind to help them make sure that you don't create a financial hardship for them. What this page is doing, it's overcoming the objection that you may get at the end. I'll just go to my local funeral home and I'll pre-play it. This is overcoming that objection. JB?
Well, exactly. You're overcoming that objection. Well, I know the funeral home director down there. I'm just going to go give him some cash and go ahead and set my arrangements up. Yes, man, that would be a great idea. But you don't want to go ahead and give them money, because here's why. You can go down there and you fill out your wishes, right? You fill out this is my wish. These are the songs I want to sing. You can do everything. Just don't give them money. And here's why you don't give them money. And then at the end, what you're doing is you're really making sure that this coverage is not about you, Miss Jones. This coverage is about the loved ones that you're going to leave behind, to make sure that Joe doesn't have to come out of pocket because he has a family and pay for your final expenses when you can kind of take care of this thing right now.
All right, Hunter, let's go to the next page. Now, we've kind of bashed everything else. We've kind of created a lot of doubt. We've created, why they actually filled out the card. Now we transition into promotion mode. We're promoting what we have, all right? John and Kim, this is why our plan is better for you. What you're going to receive complete coverage and protection. What this is a whole life coverage plan where your coverage is never going to expire on you. So you don't ever have to worry about it running out on you at a certain age. It cannot be canceled on you. All you got to do is make the payments, okay? You're going to own this policy. You're not going to rent your coverage, all right? It has permanent premiums, which means your premium I'm about to show you, it's never going to increase on you. Regardless of how old you get or if your health changes down the road, you don't ever have to worry about the price changing. John and Kim, it also has a guaranteed death benefit. Whichever death benefit that you choose today, your death benefit is going to remain the same, even if your health changes. All right? It's going to build up some cash value. It's going to have some guaranteed cash value. It's going to accumulate over time, and it can be accessible to you if you need it. Okay? All our plans, John, they're simplified issue. What that means is if whatever plan you decide to go with today, all right, there's no medical exam required. All I got to do is get into a little bit more details on the health questions. I'm not going to send a nurse to your house and, make you, do any blood work or anything like that. No credit check, nothing like that. It's a simplified issue plan, all right? And if you qualify for this, if you get approved, but I feel like you will, all right, it's an immediate death benefit plan. What that means, John and Kim, it's coverage available from day one. So if you make one payment and something happens, it pays off. Somebody needs to mute that, please. You get to choose the protection and the premium that fits your budget. Mm-hmm.
Well, what you're doing is you're taking out all the doubt and all right. What you're doing is you're taking out the questions at the end when you show figures. Well, will this increase? When does this cancel on me? When am I going to be covered? So what you're doing is you're going ahead and setting up. So when you show figures, there's no questions about what they have. And I love at the end where we talk about you choose the protection and premium that fits your budget. So now it's like, okay, he's telling me all this stuff. Now I got to have a say-so in my budget. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're helping clients. Guys that I've seen over the years that don't have good persistency, they're telling the client, you need $100 a month, right? When the client's saying, I can afford $60. So what this does is you're making sure you're not overselling. Like, we're finding the budget that fits your needs and the protection for your family.
All right, let's go to the next slide. So this is how we dive in on what we're going to show them. This is how we're going to dive in on, how much we show them. All right. So this is how you're going to qualify, John and Kim. Our state regulated programs, they're all based upon your age and your health. Okay. Once you're approved, again, your premiums are never going to increase and your benefits are never going to decrease. It's very easy to apply for this coverage. All right. Just a few questions real quick. Now, John, are you currently employed? Kim, are you currently employed? All right. You're not? All right. So you guys are on Social Security, right? All right, good. So if they answer they're on Social Security, I'm not even asking about the disability. All right. And I'm going ahead and asking this question. All right, well, good. Now they want us to ask this just to make sure. Now you receiving that, you get that check through the mail, or does it go straight to the bank, or is it like on a direct express card? All right. Because I'm stopping my presentation right there if they have a green dot card. I'm making sure that they have a bank account. And this is my generic questions to know which route to go. All right. Now, John and Kim, have either one of you ever been diagnosed with any kind of congestive heart failure, cancer, diabetes, or even had an organ transplant? Are either one of you on any kind of oxygen? You take nitro, or diagnosed with any kind of COPD? Okay. Any major surgeries in the last 2 years? All this is doing is allowing me to go in the toolkit, allow me to pull my underwriting guide to find out which plan they can qualify for. Because our smart ULs are powerful, guys. Our GPM Alliance ULs, they're powerful, right? We have really good final expense products for some that have some health issues. We've got the most powerful products to be able to offer our clients. This is going to allow you to go the direction that you need to go when showing the quotes.
Yeah, so what we did basically is we condensed the health questions to where you didn't have to go through every health question on an application to see if they qualified. So we just broad stroke, hey, I know if they got congestive heart failure, I know where to go. I know if they've got this, I know I can't help. I know I can do this. This was developed years ago because we were going in houses with agents, and it was like, how do you know what health questions to ask? Like, you're telling me to read the application. Yes, because you don't know how to field underwrite yet, okay, because you're green. What this allows is to collapse the timetables of you learning the underwriting process and understanding these are the major keys that are knockout questions for certain companies. Now, COPD is not a knockout question, but it allows you to know what company to go to if they have COPD. Certain questions like diabetes is not a knockout question. So understand these are not all knockout questions. This is just setting you up as the field underwriter to where you don't have to fumble around and do this. As you go through your reps and the more clients you help, you're able to know, okay, that's the plan, that's the company I need to go with. This flip chart, Charlie Robinson, all right, you guys have all seen Charlie Robinson on here. He's a coach on the call. He's getting it done virtually. When Charlie stepped out of corporate America and he had to go make money fast and he had to replace his six-figure income, we put this in his hands and he said, okay, this is what I'll do. He went out and in 9 months replaced his six-figure income on the road running. So it's a proven system just with a person that you guys know that you see coaching on this call, throughout the week. So I say this split chart here is you're selling an untangible object. If you're able to share your screen, now all of a sudden you're not the salesman asking the questions, you're the company asking the questions. Going into a house, the approach was, ma'am, my company just requires me to read this information to you. I'm going to go over it with you. So you had an untangible object you're trying to sell the client, and all of a sudden they can look at it, they can see it, they can kind of somewhat, feel it. Same thing with this. Now you're not the big bad salesman asking the questions, you're the company asking the questions. Like, you're more professional now. All right. And I promise you, when you do something like this and you really dive into it, if they've had somebody that's done a presentation before, if they have somebody that comes behind you, no, man, that guy might call, really ask some good questions. And he made sure that I was taken care of. Like, he went through a whole presentation. I can't tell you how many times I've heard clients say, well, yeah, the other guy, he just gave me a figure. You're asking all these questions. Well, yes, ma'am, we're just got to make sure that this is, a good fit for you. We got to make sure that you do qualify. So then you plant a little seed of doubt. So we're real passionate about the flip chart just because we've seen the results. If we didn't see the results from it, I'd say, hey, go in there with your yellow pad and try to strong arm them, have at it. But this right here gives you a track to get on and go fast. Years ago, I think it was John Kite gave this great analogy, and I loved it. It was like when Barry Clarkson started this company. Him and Rob Jones had like a machete, okay, and they were clearing a forest, and they were slowly clearing out that forest for you, okay, so you could have a path to get further down the road. And then all of a sudden, another person picked up machete, another person. The next thing you know, they've got this machinery and they're plowing down these trees. Now all of a sudden they've got gravel down. Well, guess what? What this flip chart does and what this coaching call does every day is it's giving you a highway to where there's no bumps in the road, where you're able to get on that highway and go further down the road faster than the guys before you were able to get there. So that's why we're so passionate about this daily coaching call and this flip chart, because you're collapsing the timetable of your learning curve where you can get on a highway that's already been paid for you and run down the road super fast without it hitting any bumps down the road. You're going to hit bumps down the road? Absolutely. You just got to take your knocks. You just got to go through the process and figure out, hey, how can I be more personable with these people? Because here's the words to sing in the house. You just got to put your personality to it. You just got to be genuine that you're truly there to help the client, not there to get commission breath, right? Let me say that again. You're there to help the client and not have commission breath and just try to make a sale.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, guys, you're asking these questions so you know what product to sell, okay? If they're on disability, they can't get certain products. That's why you ask these questions, right? You'll be able to put them on the appropriate plan. That's what this right here is designed for you to do, is ask the questions so you'll know which plan to go on. So, Hunter, let's go to the next slide. 3 options, guys. Nothing changes. Nothing changes in our procedure, in our processes. You're going to get 3 options. You're going to find out the little question that I ask after I find out which plan they can qualify for. I'll ask John and Kim if they're just looking for something to take care of some debt, right? I'll be like, I know funerals are anywhere between $12,000 and $15,000 right now. Cremation's around $5,000. Okay, how much coverage would you guys feel comfortable having, knowing that everything's going to be taken care of? And they'll give me a number, and whatever number they give me, that's going to be my bottom number. Okay, that's how I know to do the 3 options that I'm going to give. So that's the bottom number I'm giving. But this is a track to run on. This is a guide. This is your guardrails. This is the structure that you follow in a sale if they don't have a mortgage. Okay, I repeat, in the sale if they don't have a mortgage. If they have a mortgage, do your mortgage protection presentation. That's what I was able to do on the leads that I was running. And guys, you'd be surprised at how many people on these life leads have a mortgage, right? They've never really been explained that. So very, very exciting. Hunter, you can go ahead and take that down. Very, very exciting to, and we're going to continue to train. This is just the introductory training because these life leads are pouring in like crazy. I'm going to go ahead and bring John Kite on real quick. We're on, John.
Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to look. Is your name on here, John? Yeah.
Should be.
What's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. What you think about everything right now?
Dude, I am just hearing you and JB go over that flip chart and me thinking about being in that room and seeing when you look at all of the end of life, final expense, all the giants.
What's up, babe? What's that?
Your pictures in the background. Look at.
That's always there because it's my fault. Did you write that down? Did you write these down for me? Look, you're there on TV.
Like a back of his wall.
No, if the camera was on, it would be video of the picture.
That flip chart never forgets to say something. You know, we always leave the presentation and we go, "Oh man, if I would have remembered to say this, right?" And but I love it, dude. I love it. I love lead-driven sales. I love the market we're in. I love this season that Equus Financial's in, and I really do think that there's a ton of leaders. Man, we've been preparing our whole life for this season.
John, me and you talk about this a lot. We've always, since I met you in 2012, we've always said, system-driven income, right? System-driven income. There's been times along the path over the last 10 years where we thought we had a system. But looking back, man, we really didn't. We really did not have a true system. For the first time, I know we all believe with all we've got, we truly have a system here at Equus.
Yeah, man, it is a system. And Nick, the thing about it is, man, is that, when you look at the leads, when you look at the system, when you look at the daily coaching call, man, I don't know. It's just, I'm so fired up to wake up every day, and I like logging on to the coaching call early. And, man, it's just,
What's that, baby?
Call it like it is.
Can't hear you.
man, since the 1st of November, it's not been many. We think this is the greatest thing going on in the insurance industry.
John, kind of talk about, Barry and obviously his leadership, how he is on the back end right now, insulating Equus and making sure that we stay the path of the trajectory of where this company's going. Now, I know me and you were texting back and forth yesterday. Kind of tell everybody that's on the call today your thoughts on our leadership and the mindset that our leadership has of where this company's going.
Well, I will tell you, it is in this time right now that I absolutely I love Barry Clarkson's leadership. Okay, and here's why, Nick. And man, when I say this, I mean, don't take it out of context, guys. But it's awesome to know that I've got a leader who's not a narcissist. He's not walking around. He's not on Facebook trying to show everybody his lifestyle. He's not in business to try to create a lifestyle and fly around a jet and try to think he's all this and that. I got a leader that drives a Toyota pickup truck who only reluctantly got back into this business to actually create a space where agents didn't have to walk around with their fist up ready for a fight every 20 minutes because the head of their IMO was creating some other profit center that was lessening the opportunity that we have every day to wake up and go serve our clients. And man, nothing more important than this whole lead thing. I mean, and here's the thing, Nick, and maybe I don't know, man. I go back to my football coach, man. I grew up real small town, eastern North Carolina, and I remember, we never made the playoffs until my group of friends, we got up to that level. And I remember we're deep in the playoffs, and I remember they're trying to make a big deal about it, and how Smithfield Selma's never been here before. And I just remember hearing what my football coach said, because my football coach said, he said it ain't that big a deal. He said, we just going to go out there and block and tackle. And the thing about it is, Nick, is that we were thinking everything was such a big deal, but he reminded us it's football. And so I want to remind everybody that we are in lead-driven sales. And our head coach, Barry Clarkson, the foundation, if you want to pick, you can pick some things, but if you want to pick the foundation of all of Equus, it's this. It's Barry Clarkson saying, I'm committing to get quality leads in the hands of quality field underwriters. And when the magic in this business, so to speak, the magic happens when you can get quality leads in the hands of quality field underwriters. And I'm just going to tell you, Nick, going back to the whole block and tackling, let me, and I hope all of Equus Financial, not that I'm anybody, but I hope all of Equus Financial hears me when I say this, okay? Leads are a name and a number and a reason to pick up the phone and call them. I love what JB said when he started off today. It's a name and it's a number and it's a reason to contact them. Leads come from data. You know, if you think about the simplicity of our market, Nick, you really start to see the genius of Barry Clarkson and what he's doing and keeping Equus really at the forefront of our space, because leads come from data. You know, I was talking to somebody one time, and he wanted a specific, block in his neighborhood, and he wanted to understand why we couldn't generate 25 A leads within his block, so he could walk around his block and get 5 sales before noon. And I was explaining to him how mortgage protection leads came from data, and we can't create the data. We can only harvest the data. And I don't know, maybe it's way too simple for me, but you look at the cost of a lead, and this is the last thing, I don't mean to dumb it down so much, but the cost of a lead is based on the response rate, period. Okay, so, and Nick, this is the type of stuff I talk to my leaders about all the time, because if you ever think that a lead is anything different than what we just talked about, you're really setting yourself up for deception. Because, if Barry Clarkson had his way, I mean, let's think about it. Let's all think about our head coach, Barry Clarkson. If Barry Clarkson had his way, we just generate direct mail mortgage protection leads. And how many do we want? Do we want 1,000? Do we want 5,000? Do we want 100,000? And while we're at it, let's just find out the people that don't even need a presentation. Let's just find out the ones that got their checkbook open. I mean, and let's sell that lead for $5 a lead. I think that would really make everybody happy. The challenge with that, though, Nick, is that we can't do that. And so when you look at...
Do you mind locking it?
You sure? You're saying that again?
It's just I'm so late.
Okay.
This takes forever. It doesn't lock it. It took this, I bring it back with 2 pictures. I don't have to put it on. It locks, but it takes forever to make it lock. That works when you're outside, you don't see this stand up. You need to go before.
And when somebody tells me, well, I can get you so-and-so quality lead for, and all of a sudden the price of that lead doesn't match up with what I know the response rates, I know that I'm getting ready to have something pulled over my head, And we just need to be smart, man. We're in the greatest place in all the industry right now. In all the industry, we're with the IMO that has the leader that has our best interest in mind. It ain't about him. It's never been about him. Okay. It's about us, and it's about creating the agent's company. And again, if our leaders will remember that, we are getting ready to go through when I say explosive growth, it's what Barry's always talked about. It's that vertical move, man.
There's an old saying is whatever you have your identity in, if you lose it, you'll lose your mind, right? My identity as a life insurance professional has never been in a lead.
Yep.
It's never been in a lead because I have a skill set. Connor Jones talks about this all the time. Is you're developing a skill set. A lead is a lead is a lead. You are the professional. You do your job. That's why we have unbelievable coaching on a mortgage protection sale. That's how I learned how to sell because of the all amazing coaches here at Equus. I didn't know how to sell mortgage protection. I was lost as all get out. I did not know how to do it. I was taught. I got the reps in. I developed a skill set. We have a flip chart sales system that you were talking about. All the top guys in the country, we all got on the same page and we put it on a piece of paper, right? So, guys, the biggest thing, and you said this earlier, and I wrote it down. We're even making it more like the Equus system that Barry talks about, that it will expose you. The Equus system will expose you. This flip chart sales system puts everybody on the same playing field. Everybody is equal, right? You just got to learn how to read it. It's going to expose your activity or lack thereof, right? Me and Barry were talking about this yesterday, man. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel like the better we get, JB, the more simple we get. The better we get, the more simple we get. Because this is all set up for you to bring people into this business, for you to share this opportunity. It's not based on the people that are here to like you said, to get relaxed and have 5 sales before 12 o'clock. No, it's designed and set up. Everything's intentional for us to bring people in this business. It's designed for this company to double by November the 1st. Make no mistake about it. This company is going to double by November the 1st. We just need more validators. We just need more people doing the right activity. You're going to be fully equipped each and every day, right, John? You're going to be fully equipped to be equipped to do what we do. So, John, I'm absolutely fired up. John, close us out. Any closing comments before we get off? So, for those of you that are on this call, you've won today already. You've positioned yourself. Keep on, guys. If you're not where you're at from a financial aspect, it's Friday. Work. It's pouring down rain here in Georgia. People are going to be at home. Make those phone calls. Make those dials. People are going to be in a situation where you can share, something that will hopefully protect their family and protect their assets. So, John, close us out.
Nick, I'll just say this, dude, in closing us out. There's 3 things that I'm fired up about, okay, in addition to what we've already talked about, okay. Number 1, I am so fired up about our Friday opportunity meetings. And like getting off this call, I would be in massive action mode in getting people plugged in to Mike Hall and JB. I think, like, if I look at this industry and I take 2 guys that I would put up from a passion standpoint and just think the world of, like they're incredible. So I would get every single person I can plugged into the opportunity meeting. Number 2 is Charlotte, North Carolina. Nick, man, it's just like we got a couple weeks, dude, and we're all going to be in Charlotte, man. I can't wait to see everybody. It is going to be one of the best meetings that Equus Financial has ever had. I cannot wait. Barry Clarkson is going to be there front and center, and I cannot wait to hear his message, and I can't wait to hear all the leaders. And then the last thing that I'm excited about, Nick, is that in addition to the incredible lead platform we have, I'm so excited about this Debt Free for Life. I don't think that there is a more compelling story in the world. Okay, let's specifically talk about our country. I don't think there's a more compelling story in the United States of America right now than debt elimination. And to kind of jump in and learn from 2.0 and Pete Lee about this debt-free for life strategy. Like, Nick, it's hard for me to sleep at night when I think about it. And so I hope every single person has gotten the books. Matter of fact, I got it right here, Smart Retirement. I hope everybody's gotten that book. I hope everybody reads it. But more so than reading it, I hope that you understand the position that you're in to use a debt-free for life specialist that's been appointed to your organization. Make your top 10 list, but get this message out that we've got a program that we can help incredibly eliminate debt so fast. It's awesome. So thank you, Pete Lee. Thank you, Bill Martin 2.0 for bringing that in. This is such a great time frame, Nick, and I absolutely love it. Thank you for bringing me on today.
All right, guys, great call. Thank you to Kristen. Thank you, JB. Thank you, John. And look forward to seeing everybody